My name's Dave Ryter, and I've spent the last 26 years employed as a commercial airline pilot, and it's logged approximately 2 million miles. That's my hobby. My real passion, along with my wife, is family ministry, and first working on our own family and in turn helping other parents to succeed at home as well. We have 3 daughters. Our oldest is 24, then 22 and 19. They're all disciples, and that is the biggest blessing of our life. But our journey started when they were around 3 and 1, and we didn't yet have our youngest. And we started taking parenting courses, and it helped us to realize that all the answers we needed were in the scriptures. And after a few years of going through parenting courses, we decided to bring that back to our local church in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we started facilitating classes, even though we didn't yet have the answers and we still had very young children. But we decided that if we're going to keep learning, we might as well learn as a group. And so a number of disciples, parents joined us, and eventually we morphed that material into something that exists today. And it's an online web resource called biblicalparenting.net. And we now have a community of believers from churches all around the world who join us to create community and to figure out how to parent rooted in God's word. Some of the principles that we're trying to pass along are, one, that God really has ordained parents to pass down their faith to their children, and it's not something to be offloaded. And that's easy to do when we get fearful as parents, because we often were not raised in biblically principled ways, and so we flounder around and we can be fear-driven, and that's where community is so helpful. But understanding that God's word really does provide the answers. And secondly is that our training really needs to be intentional and proactive. Tami and I used to train only in conflict. We would figure out how to train based on when our kids misbehaved. But learning to go and spend time together every week, talk through our children, figure out what their strengths and weaknesses were, and then come up with a plan of action to train character and to train virtue allowed us to become proactive in our training. And then those times of conflict, that as we worked through them, they were reaffirming the training that our children were getting in times of non-conflict, which is so beautifully defined for us in Deuteronomy 6. The other thing that's really important to us and transformed our own marriage as well as our parenting is learning how to process conflict in a biblically appropriate manner. One of the things we have seen is that it is most common throughout the world that by the time parents have teenage children, that there have been so many little wounds that have not been resolved over the years that the kids tend to become more peer-centric, and the parents, not knowing what to do in that situation, tend to hand their children over and hope that they'll be rescued by a teen ministry or by what they learn in Kids Kingdom. When in reality, if we can help parents and children to restore their relationship, or even better, start with younger parents and teach them how to process conflict in a biblically appropriate manner, then yes, we will sin against each other, and yes, we'll have conflict in the teen years, but we will be able to work through it to full restoration and reconciliation. And therefore, the teen years can be some of the best parenting years of our life. Challenging, a lot of hard work, a lot of long talks, but the most rewarding years that will create a foundation of mentoring adult children into the future.
I'm Dave.
I'm Tami Ryter.
And we love our church.